Well, here we are, south coast of England, just by the Nab Tower, Isle of Wight over there to our west. And we're going to talk about the baits because it's December and we're cod fishing at the moment. So at the time of speaking, we've got a horrible shortage of squid. This is fortunately what I had a couple of boxes spare in my freezer. This is the normal calamari, which I believe is bleached. You can tell it's very white, which tells you it's actually in good nick. When it's been defrosted a few times, tends to go a bit pink. Still works. So in my experience, hasn't worked as well though when it goes pink. You want it nice and white like that. The unwashed squid, it does work. It depends what brand it is. I've found there's a good one at the moment. Andy's Baits is selling it, a Lund's unwashed squid. That's working. And of course, you've got cuttle. Now, cuttle, much more sizable bait. You could actually put that on. I mean, a 30-pound cod, I'll eat that no problem. Not that many 30-pound cod around, so what you tend to do, there's half a cuttle head there. What I like to do with the cuttle is get your fingers under its mantle there. Get the knife in. Just get yourself a bit of skin to hold on to, and I just like to rip all that skin off. Don't think that really offers much scent or help, and I do think the nice white flesh probably gives it more of a flag, you know, more of a visual attractor to any passing fish. I'll do the same the other side. Basically, I'll just rip that skin off all around that cuttle. Obviously, you want to keep all that goodness in there, all of that, what I had heard referred to as all that nice custard. That's good stuff. That's where a lot of the scent is. So what I tend to do with this, I'd cut that into four, make it 4 baits. If I can keep as much of that innards attached to it as possible, great. The other thing is you can do, if you've got yourself a peeled piece of the mantle there, people tenderise that. So they'll smack that around a bit. Hopefully that releases more oils. I've tried it, and to me it's kind of, it probably does, but I'm not totally convinced that it's worth the hassle of doing that. What I prefer to do is maybe that's down for 20 minutes. If I haven't had a bite, I'll reel in, I'll put another piece on. But that's about a nice cod size bait. Maybe hook once or twice through there, 6/0 to 8/0 hook. Nice bit of bait there. You hook it too many times sometimes, unless you bring it up over the hook and band it on with a bit of elastic, it can roosh up. Once it rooshes up in any sort of tide, that's going to spin. That's not really what you want. So I might just hook that once, maybe twice. Because it's cuttle, nice and thick there, stays on the hook. The ravages of waiting, pecking away at that. If that was a squid, hook once, probably a dog or something would suck that off, the whiting would rip that to bits. Much harder to do with a piece of cuttle. Much tougher bait. I've literally just chucked this out, it hit the bottom and the rod sprang. It feels like a whiting. It's hard to say, it could be a small bass I suppose, but get that more springy bite, actually doing something, which is, means it's not a dogfish, quite frankly, but I'd say it could be a small cod. I mean, who knows, but I'd probably say it's a whiting.
Kicking away, isn't it? Like a little bass or something?
Yeah, it could be a small bass. Bass tend to sort of shoot around a little bit more. There we go. No, it's a nice whiting.
Oh, that's a nice one, mate.
Yeah, as I thought.
That is a good, yeah.
There you go, nice channel whiting there.
That's an eat to that one, isn't it?
Yeah, if you wanted to. I think they're quite nice eating. They're very subtle, but pleasant. And that's exactly what I wanted to catch on that. If it was a little bit smaller, he'd be going back down as a live bait, but as it stands, he can go in the box for dinner. Because I'm going to eat him, I'm going to gut him immediately, because I'm keeping him nice and cool. But you get a couple of good fillets off of that. Yeah, he'll do nicely for dinner. Old Mother Combin, she'll like that. Fried in a little bit of breadcrumb.
What do you put with it, Wayne, vegetable wise?
Who knows, probably some new potatoes and peas, something like that, but take the fillets off, put them in a beaten egg, and then just put them in some homemade breadcrumbs, fry in a little bit of butter. Very nice indeed. And he's just coughed up what probably was a sprat at some stage. That's what they're feeding on. It's a ray. I thought it was.
It is a ray, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. Nice under
Wow, big one.
on that big old pout. There you go, look at that.
Whole pouting, yeah, you're right,
He's
mate.
done, he's got up to that pout, muddled it and mashed it. And
Crushed it up, hasn't he?
yeah, he's done the business on it. Fucking left a lot of it, has he? Yeah, he's got a nice ray actually. Not bad at all.
Go on.
Well, here we go. Often you get bass when you're cod fishing. He's, I don't know.
Good, a nice little bass, isn't he?
Yeah, he's alright. He can go straight back though. He'll be alright, and woof, away he goes.
And squid that time, Wayne?
Yeah, a bit of squid. That was on a rod with a lighter weight that I just threw right back in the tide. So, so you often get bass when you're cod fishing. I mean, you get some very big bass when you're cod fishing on those static baits. So, you know, I mean, I had a 12-pound free once on a cod bait, so very nice. I'd like that again.
Now you can get some really good fish on what we in England call spinning reels. Well, actually we call them fixed spool reels because it's a fixed spool around which the line revolves on a bail arm. But I think people know them as a spinning reel. Wayne uses them all the time. He's got 3 on this session, whereas I use multiplying reels. They're geared and they multiply the line on the retrieve of each turn of the handle. In this case, Wayne's got, as you can see, what some people would say is a big fish. It's a conger eel, which he T-bars off, well, it's actually an unhooking discorder he uses, just one little jig with that steel bar and the fish goes back. So you can get some really good fish on the saltwater version of fixed spool or spinning reels. He's got braid on these. Also on his boat he's got all the latest electronic wizardry and gadgetry which you need, and let's face it, all boat owners have got to have a bit of that electronic stuff, haven't they? I've got it on my boat. I just wish I knew how the hell to work it. So here you go. Remember our film about long tiding? Wayne's doing just that. He's long tiding. He's casting way down in the tide there. I think he's, oh my God, he's got the ship in the background. Wayne, mate, we're going to need a bigger net for that one. Look at the sight. It's stripping him out. It's stripping. You never stop it before it gets to France. That's it. Pull on it. No, it's actually a fish, but you can see we're fishing right, well, just outside the channel markers off the Isle of Wight for the shipping zone there. So it's not somewhere you'd fish if it was foggy or at night. So I guess some people might do. We won't be. Nice clear day like this, you can see where those ships are going. They should be within the channel markers when they go in and out. Of course, sometimes they try to cut the corners, and that's when things go wrong. Anyway, it wasn't going wrong for Wayne on this one. He's cranking and hauling on that spinning rod. Ow, what has he got there? I don't know, a few head shakes there, could be an eel. This looks like a very nice conger eel. In it comes, wow, kicking and thrashing. Now, guys, for people abroad, they do, well, some people might eat these. We release them. And they used to be killed years ago for just basic low price fish. This was a very, very nice conger eel. And now they're mostly returned. I suppose if you wanted to keep one, you could do. They're not the world's greatest eating fish. They are, however, one of the world's greatest fighting fish. And a lot of that fighting goes on inside the boat, which is why Wayne's trying to unhook it. Just pop the hook out with that little steel bar he's got inside the water. and away it goes. Okay, my God, the old boy's even hooked up something on his multiplying reels. Now, he was helping Wayne actually sort out that conger with the tangled lines. And he's now got a pretty decent fish hooked up on his shark gear. This is the same, well, it's not a shark gear, it's regulation boat gear, and I use it for poor beagle sharks and blue sharks and stuff like that, big tarpon, lemon sharks, bull sharks, black tip shark. Oh my God, it's not a conger eel. It looks like, oh, target species achieved. Bring me that frying pan.
Well, I've got to tell you guys, we used a small camera and Wayne had a blinder of a conger about a minute or so before, got a tangle. Conger had to go 35 pounds, a really good conger. I don't know what it looks like on a small camera, trust me, it's a good one. And as we were untangling, I just thought that line's pulling tight. So I pulled all the line like this to keep it tight. I thought it was a conger. Gave the line to Wayne to hold right, so it's kicking and thrashing away. Must have spent 5 minutes untangling it, could have dropped the bait any time. Wound up, still thought it was a conger. I can't tell you, 20 feet from the boat, I thought, well, maybe 10, 15 pound conger. No, it's a lump. It is. Oh, keep still, my beauty. You don't want to come up with the camera now? Oh, look at this. I mean, I feel really, really bad about this, guys. Not that bad, but I mean bad, because Wayne wants a really big cod. He's over 15 anyway.
I'd say 16,
12.
16, 17, 16 and 17.
Now, one of Wayne says use a big bait. Look at the mouth on that thing. It's as big as mine. No, my head's bigger, my head's bigger. No, beautiful looking fish. That is unbelievably lucky. It shows you how fickle out the sea is out here. You don't know what you got. I had it down for a conger all day long. And there you go, absolute lump. I can't even remember what bait it was on. Might have been on bit of your cuttle there, Wayne. It's down in there, is that squid? No, a piece of cuttle, I think it is. What an absolute beauty. And we've got more baits down, because sometimes they're coming twos, don't they, Wayne?
Oh, if there's one around, there's usually more, so I want one now. Bit bigger than my one, but I'd like one slightly bigger than that, but there you
Wayne
go.
wants a 20, Wayne wants a 20. Been fishing years for them.
I've only tried 20 years, sort of 19.3 is
Oh my
my
God.
best, but no, he's a nice fish, Graham, lovely bit of tea there, so spot on. And I don't begrudge a thing, I'll tell you that now. You know, I'm more than happy for people to come out on my boat and catch nice fish, so...
Well,
yeah.
Wayne had been kicking my butt big time, and I can always take that, no problem at all. I don't have a problem as way fishing is. I'm just happy to film it. But to come up with a cod, undulate ray, some nice conger, big whiting you had, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah.
So not a bad old day's fishing in the winter aboard Thresher.
Well, after Graham's nice fish earlier, we managed a few more conger, a couple of rays, not many dogs fortunately, and just as the ebb's starting to just ease down, we got our target again. Not just one, which Graham got another one, but I managed one too. So all in all, not a bad day.
I think one's on squid, was it? The other's cuttle, Wayne?
Yes, this bigger one was on the cuttle. Your one was on a... No, they're both on cuttle. Yours was on a frill. Mine was on a bit of the mantle. So they both came on cuttle. The earlier one came on, I believe, cuttle as well, actually. So, yeah, cuttle seems to be the bait at the moment. But this is what we were coming for. This is what we wanted. Lovely, lovely cod. Beautiful fish. Whoa, still kicking, look at that. So, we'll have these boys in the cooler very, very soon. Maybe, just maybe, before that sun goes down, we might have one or two more to it.
Well, let me tell you folks, those conger eels were on the bite big time. Now if you just look at the colour of the water on the stern there, normally it can be quite clear, and I feel the fish were on the bite because there was some colour in the water. And this is another decent conger, looks about 20 pounds there. Wayne just releases it with that little stainless steel disgorger. Away it goes. And I feel that coloured water actually contributes to helping those fish feed. Maybe they can't see fish up in the water column when it's coloured. If it's clear, they're well up in the water hunting small fish. When it's coloured, they've got to go down to the seabed, and that's why we fish with lead weights in England on the bottom. Here we go. GP's come up with a nice thornback ray. I mean, winter fishing off the British coast, blue sky, thornbacks. Don't get your finger in there, Graham. That shows the crushing power that they've got, those jaws. A nice thornback ray. Again, years ago, they used to be killed for their skate wings and the cheeks. The cheek muscles used to be quite tasty. Now, we try and put them all back. I guess there's people out there still like eating fish, but, you know, I think we're more in it for sport than fish. And let them go. You can always keep them if you want to keep them, but I think it's the way of the future. Wayne, meantime, got those spinning rods and spinning reels in action again. The sun's going down. We're still catching really good fish out there at anchor. Now Wayne's cranking and hauling on this, but it's not kicking and thrashing quite like a conger should do. So we're thinking, I better get the net just in case it is a Charlie Oscar Delta. Yes, a cod, and not a small cod either. It had sucked the bait back. Look at this fish. Cuttlefish, I think, was the bait for this one. In it comes beautiful prime winter cod. We normally get them off the British coast from about October to January, and then they depart to who knows where. But even as the sun almost touches that horizon, a fantastic day is finished off with, yes, another fish.
Oh God,
Let me get the net.
not in the net yet. I can't even see him actually, Brian.
Scoop.
There we go, now I can see him. And there we go.
He's in.
It'll do.
You do nicely.